Focus, focus. Hocus pocus.
So let's talk here.
And see.
Oh, I'm getting a breadache.
Wait a second.
Oh no.
A breadache? A headache breadache?
No, it's a breadache. When I eat bread too fast, I get it in my chest.
And you feel like you're gonna have a heart attack and die, but it's just bread.
Yeah, it's not actually. Well, I don't know because I've had a heart attack, but it's like a heavy chest.
Yeah.
And I get it in my back too when I eat bread too fast.
Yeah.
And this is just a real thin piece of bread.
But it's something about it just going down and sitting there.
I get a bread, and thank you for agreeing, because I have said this to people out loud and they think I'm fucking crazy.
What?
That I get a bread ache in my chest and my back.
They don't eat enough bread.
That's the problem.
The problem is they sound like they're gluten free.
I actually sometimes think about the fact that I shouldn't eat bread at home alone.
Because you might get a bread ache.
And it might choke.
Because it's hard to chew bread fully because it's so good, and you just
want to just eat it like I'm doing right now.
Shove it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I've had bread aches before. I haven't called them bread aches, but I know that feeling that you're talking about.
But do you keep eating it too? That's what's sick about me. Is
I do too.
I'm like, I'm having a bread ache, and so I just think I'll push it down.
Why would you stop, Amanda? Other people are wrong in this. We're right on this.
Whiskey's over here sniffing it out because he knows.
He knows you're having a bread ache. But it has also, if it's a really good bread, like a crunchy on the outside.
A baguette.
A baguette. A baguette begets.
A baguette.
A baguette.
Oh, we've already had this one. We're not going back down the road again. Should we clap?
We should clap.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters.
In law.
We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans, only Suits fans. Only Suits fans.
This is Season 6, Episode 11, She's Gone, and Season 6, Episode 12, The Painting. Ooh. Painting sounds like maybe a book that would end up in my Book of the Month Club box.
Yeah,
The Painting.
The Painting.
Have you read The Painting yet?
Yeah.
Possibly made for TV movie?
It does sound very Lifetime. Very
Lifetime?
Yeah, or Oscar,
Yeah,
Oscar.
It could be Oscar.
It could be really either.
Honestly, I feel like I see movies sometimes where I'm like, I don't know if this is a Lifetime or a Hallmark movie, or is this an Oscar nod?
I don't know what art is anymore. I don't know.
Who does?
Also, She's Gone reminded me of She Knows
from
I think
1.
It was season 1.
Yeah, that was the season finale of episode 1, right?
Mm-hmm. She, I think, is Jessica always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Jessica Daddy Pearson.
Capital S with the she.
I wrote a brief, and I want to be clear that I wrote this one and you did not write it, because I did. There was some confusion that you will not hear, listeners. And I said, this brief isn't even funny. It's just like a beefed up log line. And then you thought that you had written this brief.
Wait, did I write the brief?
And I was like, no, I would never say that about your work.
Even if it is. I mean, Amanda, sometimes my briefs are just beefy log lines.
Same.
But you wouldn't tell me that.
I think if you said, hey, can I get some really critical feedback? Would you go back and I would say, give me some time to go back and read all of your briefs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at your body of work and let me think about truly what that feedback would be.
Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't try and Oreo it and do good, bad, good. I would give you the feedback.
Yeah.
And then talk about how we could improve on it and set a plan together.
You wouldn't just
literally what I do in my little HR job all the time.
It wouldn't just be you.
I wouldn't
just log lines.
I wouldn't say this isn't even funny. This is a beefy log line, which is indicative of how I talk to others and not myself. Oops. But here is my beefy log line. It feels like everyone is acting a little out of character at PSL these days, or are they? Full of surprises and flashbacks, these 2 episodes feel more like a new season premiere than a mid-season shift, and we are here for it. Mike is back on the bike and trying to do some good in the world, while Harvey and Lewis try to run PSL without the P. Rachel is busy potentially committing tax fraud for Lewis while also being concerned about appearing above board when she goes before the character and fitness committee. Donna catches Lewis climbing back into the professional bed with Catrona bonnet and trying to hide it while Harvey is busy trying to make up with his mom he hasn't seen in 7 years and hang out with his brother. Is this our new normal at PSL, or will things get back on track sooner than later? If Jessica Daddy Pearson was here, she'd wrangle these kids so fast and whip them back into shape, all without the help of an assistant.
And while sipping some tea.
She would tell them, hey, I got the tea on you guys. Sipping some tea.
She is busy packing her life up to move to Chicago. That can't be easy. She's got to get her home on the market. She's got to find a place to live. I'm sure she's going to find a firm.
I bet she keeps that as a high-end rental. There's probably a market for somebody like that.
You think so?
I don't know, maybe. I just feel like she's smart and might try and like diversify her portfolio. You know? And who knows what her and Jeff Malone are going to find in Chicago. And I'm not going to talk much more about that.
No, because that's the future.
It's the future, and I don't want to give anything away.
No, we don't know.
Also, don't go watch Pearson, because it
gives it all away.
It doesn't give it all away, but I would like to spend one episode at some point talking about Pearson.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to do it episode by episode, but I could do I think we should, if you are up to binging it.
After we finish
After this world is over, it's worth a little...
Okay. Yeah, because it's only like 2 seasons, right?
1.
Oh, yeah, then for sure.
And I have a lot of thoughts on it, and it's been hard because there hasn't been anybody to talk to about it.
Okay, well, I would love to watch it.
Okay. I'll see you in a few months on that one.
Perfect.
I'm out of breath from doing that brief. I think I'm also so tired. It was beefy, but I'm also tired in my breadache. Mm-hmm. I'm out of, I wasn't even going to put that in there. Now I have to put that in. I'm out of breath. I'm literally out of breath from reading that brief.
It was very beefy. And beefy plus bread is out of breath, you know.
We have somebody who runs 100 miles regularly listening to this podcast.
But they don't do the podcast. It was speaking of brief would make anyone out of breath, you know?
You're not wrong.
People might say, wow, you must be really out of shape if you're, out of breath from reading a brief. And it's well, walk a mile in my shoes.
Yeah. And they'd be like, sure.
That
sounds so easy.
Walk it? Okay.
Okay. Let's do...
Before the credits?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of episode 11?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's this song, and it's I've been loving you. It's very sultry.
Mm-hmm.
And Donna comes to Harvey's bed with coffee, and it was worth the wait because that coffee is delicious, and also worth the wait because they've been boning.
Yep, they had some segs.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening.
What
this
did you
one
think?
Got me.
Did it?
Because it was a dream. It was a nightmare.
So this one got you more than the prison one where they were like...
Yes.
Okay.
This one felt more real because the last episode ended with them holding hands. So I was maybe
the
they
natural progression
this.
of holding hands with your boss is just to go home with them.
Well, they've already done it before.
They have done it.
And there's the tension. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, wow, this is a big leap.
So this got you. I was wondering because...
This one got me.
This one, it also rolls right into it. So I was like, I wonder if she saw this before we record. Because if you accidentally don't hit pause, when you're watching...
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it get Kyle? Was he fooled?
Yeah, Kyle was also fooled. But then it was a nightmare. It was, yeah. But yeah. It fooled me.
Not them sleeping together would have been a nightmare.
No, because she goes, I don't work for you anymore.
Yeah.
And Jessica's not coming back. And so it was very realistic. And it was also real things, that have happened. Or So that really tripped me up.
Mm-hmm. And then we see Lewis. He is more or less not having a nightmare, but a dream, because he's got a little baby that's not his on the way with Tara, his new fiance. What a quick...
So quick. I do not feel good about this.
Dude, if I had a friend that if it happened to them this quick, they've met twice.
I know. I would be like, hey. But he's thinking of names. He's like, I've always loved the name Lucy and Cooper.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 things that could happen with the name Lucy Litt. The trajectory could be unbelievable, and she could become president of the United States, or she is going to be
incessantly mocked.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Cooper's an interesting name for Lewis to also pick.
Right?
Yeah, I was surprised by those names.
Mm-hmm.
But Tara says it doesn't matter what their first name is because their last name's going to be Litt.
Yeah, she's taking the name.
But I guess the kid's going to take the name too.
Yeah.
Even though it's not his kid.
Not even a hyphen in there.
Can you do that? Can you just be like, I guess whatever, it's her kid, no matter what. You don't.
Well,
have to,
I mean, you can write down whatever you want legally. He would have to, like, for that name to become, like,
he adopt them.
Yeah, the kid would have to legally change their name. This is what I think would have to happen with my experience of this, which is none. I think the kid would either have to legally have to change their name, and then they can do that before they're 18, I believe, or he would have to adopt him. So,
or she just puts his last name down, because like you just fill out the paperwork for a birth certificate,
right?
So she could, so if she, but isn't that kind of crazy for her to just put down
that name,
that their last name is Lit, even though
it's not?
And I mean, if that's her last name, I guess we'll do whatever. But it's just, this is what I'm trying to say is, this is moving way too fast.
Yeah, because it is moving,
and they have not, like, this could potentially mess this kid up for the rest of their life. Speaking of dads who mess their kids up for the rest of their life,
right?
You got Daddy Zane and Rachel. Mm-hmm. They're at her home, and he has a job offer, and she says, "I'm not going to leave my work family to work for you." And he says, "Okay, well, this offer will always be there. You're going to have a very hard time,
right,
passing the character and fitness portion of the bar."
Yes. Then Mike visits Harvey. He goes to tell him he's turning down the offer.
Another daddy-son relationship.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
Daddy-son relationship. Harvey's having a nice French press.
In his apartment.
I love his, like, leisurely mornings.
I know.
Right? He kind of sleeps in.
How?
And, yeah, with all the work. Like, he's not that first in, last out, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And the sun's up. So
the sun's
it must
up.
be, like,
sun's up and
mid-morning.
Yeah. Harvey says, just give me, like, a month because Jessica left last night and, I need you. And they kind of get into a verbal fight here. Not, like, an actual fight. And then Mike's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, it was the last time they were in that spot in the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
There was an actual fight.
Yeah, some glass was broken. And then we hear our favorite song, A Greenback Boogie.
We have two storylines.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to save the farm. Big one. And then Mike's going to get a job.
Yep.
And that's what happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Saving the firm is going to be hard because Jessica Daddy Pearson's not there.
Yeah, it's like, what is this firm? It's, PSL without the P.
Right. It's just...
Yeah. Would you ever be like, hey, thanks, Starbucks. I'm glad it's SL season.
Yeah. Spiced latte.
That could be any time.
Yeah.
The pumpkin is what gives it.
The pumpkin is what gives it its flavor.
And also, like, it's very, like, whole brand. Like, it's a whole brand. It's a whole thing. It's a movement. It's in the zeitgeist. And when you take out the P from a PSL.
Yeah, it's not the same.
You're screwed.
You're screwed.
It's just like you had a marketing intern that shouldn't have even
been there
in charge of it.
But when it starts, Harvey and Lewis are talking about the books, and it doesn't sound bad. They're actually flush with cash.
I was actually shocked. I mean, I trust Lewis because I know he's the money man, but I was shocked that they were flush with cash.
Yeah,
because
they're
like, after leasing it, and I guess they got money from Sweet Stew, but they're not anymore. But it's like, he's like, we're flush with cash, but he also didn't call out, we're about to not have a tenant.
Well, he's just like, we aren't paying anyone.
That's fair.
We're getting paid, but we're not, our expenses are so low right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this is good news. It seems like it's going to be good. Mm-hmm. And then right then, Daddy Zane comes and he's talking with Lewis and Harvey. And he's like, hey, I'm here to talk about my offer. Mm-hmm. And Harvey and Lewis think that this is a trap.
Mm-hmm.
Like they think it's kind of, he's setting them up for a trap.
Yeah.
He says, okay, well, this firm's about to be ripped apart because you two there's no way you two can be managing partners of this firm. And Lewis 100% takes the bait. He's like hook, line, sinker. But so does Harvey, kind of.
Yeah, Harvey does a little bit, but you can tell he's a little distracted. Lewis literally, this is like a hold my beer situation. He's like, oh, really? Okay.
You don't think I can be a managing partner?
Rather than like reflecting or anything, he's like, oh, I'll fucking go.
We got to pick a managing partner, Harv.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Lewis is like, why don't you just go hire a new class of associates? And Lewis also takes this personally, like, because Harvey had been like, let's put it on pause. And now it's like, oh, so you don't think that I can... It's just everything.
He's taking everything.
Yeah. The grain of doubt has been sowed.
Yeah. Gretchen.
Love her.
Cannot get enough of Gretchen. There's not enough Gretchen in this show. I'll say it.
She's not going to like all of a sudden become...
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like up to this point...
I know. We want more.
We don't see her enough.
More of her.
Right? Gretchen has pulled the top candidates from all the law schools. And Lewis says, you know what? Why don't you put them in the trash because we're going to go shopping at one of the law firm grocery stores. They don't have grocery stores in law firms, but he means...
Right,
metaphorically. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you tell me who, because I'm going with you. Like, she is so loyal and dedicated, which I appreciate. I also wish she would call him a little bit on it, because it's like, Donna calls him on him being so, like...
She might not know him well enough.
She probably doesn't, but I appreciate the loyalty. And also, like, she's like, what needs to be done?
And I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And they're going to go pick those bananas, which is code for associates, right off the Zane vine.
Yeah, bananas 1, 2, and 3.
They're coming after.
A second year banana.
Second year banana. Extra sweet.
That's the name of the episode.
Second year banana.
Yeah.
Then Lewis goes to Zane's firm and asks Katrina to come home, come back and be with him, like where she always belonged. He explains, and I think it's a very good sales tactic. He says, I also want you to bring 10 associates because look at this firm. There is no room at the top. No one here is getting their name on this wall. But our firm has nothing but room. It's empty, actually.
Yeah, it's actually the decision that, like, I feel a lot of people make when they're looking for, like, jobs. Like, say you have a job offer and you can go work for, like, a big corporation or a startup, right? There's more security with a big corporation, proven, right? Like, they have a proven track record, but also they can do downsizing and reworking all the time. Like, you don't know. And the likelihood that you're going to be the CEO or the SVP or whatever. But then at a startup, it's like, oh, there actually is more potential. However... You don't know. We could literally start down real quick.
Yeah, start down.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about that, like in the law firm world.
For sure. So she needs to round up risk takers, really.
A little risky, little startup people.
Which will fit well with like Harvey and this whole vibe.
Yeah. Then we see Harvey go to Harvard to see Henry Girard, and he wants him to testify for Mike if he goes to take the bar, because he needs somebody, like, literally who else to do it than a professor of ethics from Harvard.
For the character and fitness
portion to say, you know what, this guy should be able to practice law. So what's happening here is he's trying to get Mike to be able to take the bar without having gone to law school.
Which you can do.
You can do.
Like, we discovered season this, 1, we looked it up, and it was like, oh, great.
You can do this.
You just need a lawyer to sponsor you.
And it's not like getting, like, a sponsor for your, like, cheer team in high school where you're like, you ask your biology teacher, can you come sponsor this? Right? Like,
this is 6 seasons too late, Harvey.
Right? Also, I mean, you called it out in the last one. Like, the thing that's 6 seasons too late is that Mike Ross should have been hired as a consultant.
Right.
But then it would have just never happened. And it would have just been called consultant. And it would have been like, this is the dumbest plotline ever. But, like, you know, it's like they're trying to pull one over on us. And, like, we don't know.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But Girard's like, no. It's like, not going to work. I'm not even in New York.
You need somebody.
Boston, Massachusetts, or Cambridge.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not even an attorney in that state. You got to get somebody from the Big Apple. So we know what that means.
Yeah. And we will see what that means when we talk about Mike getting a job.
Yeah.
Then we're back at the office. Donna has been answering Gretchen's phone because Gretchen is out. Where's Gretchen?
Her grandson's play or something.
Okay. So she's out for the day. And Donna's like, and Katrina Bonnet has been calling for you, Lewis. And
so
she's trying to schedule a meeting with Jeremy Cohen, who is Robert Zane's largest client. This is a bad idea. And Lewis is like, how did you know that Katrina Bonnet was Katrina Bennett.
Right.
What would your name be?
I don't know if I want to say it because I don't want people to know.
Armanda Boston.
Sure. You know, people call me, when they get confused, they'll call me Austin as my first name because they see it and they're like, they just get, it's really hard for people to wrap their head around the fact that my last name is a city.
People do that all the time with, like, my kids too.
Really? They're called, like, little boys Austin.
They always call them Austin. I'm like, that's sure, but that's not their name.
Yeah.
It's confusing. It's because people have stolen your last name.
They have.
They've stolen it and made it a first name, and it's not. They've made it a first name. It is a city. And it is a family surname.
To be fair, I always said if I was going to have kids, I might name a little girl Austin.
Like, or boy.
Yeah. But, like, yeah.
But that's yours.
It is. Like,
right.
I was going to take my maiden name and obviously, you know.
Yeah, there are people out there who are naming their kids after other people's last names that they have no connection to.
It's a little bit confusing and rude.
It is rude. Like my mom's last name, Mason.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, I can't
name my kid. If you would have named the kid Mason, it would have made total sense.
It would have made sense, but it was like, I can't because so many other people have named their kid Mason.
I know.
It's hard.
I know.
Then Katrina Bonnet and
Wait, what would yours be real quick?
Margie Boston.
Margie Boston? Okay.
It's good, right?
It is good.
It's like a totally different name.
It is totally different than Schmishmanda Schmoston. So I can't be Mandy.
No, you'd have to be like, You'd have to put a mustache on.
And be Armando.
And be Armando. Armando Boston.
Mm-hmm. Armando Boston.
Uh-huh.
So when we start touring, is that how we're going to check into our hotels?
Hello, it's Margie and Armando Boston. So Katrana Bonnet and Louis Pitts meet up, and she does not like this plan to take down Zane. She's like, we should not be going after Jeremy Cohen because Zane has waived the non-compete for her and the other associates. They're allowed to go to PSL.
Yeah.
He's really genuinely trying to help them out.
And Lewis is like, dang,
I'm not ready to be managing partner.
Unbelievable reflection.
Unbelievable. He's like,
we saw like this tiny bit of growth with him.
But this is a huge growth. He's really, when you see it, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Lewis. It is huge growth, but we don't get to see it often. So maybe it's just like a tiny point in time.
Right.
But you're right. Even like, it could just be a tiny point in time, but if he has the big growth, and that could change the trajectory.
Very self-reflective.
Yeah. Zane meets with Harvey to talk about Jeremy Cohen.
And Harvey has no idea about Jeremy Cohen.
He's like, what are you talking about? He was like, maybe before you try and poach my biggest client. He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
And Harvey says, we don't need your charity. Harvey, what happens is Zane is coming to be like, hey, this is happening. Harvey's like, I don't even know what that is, but we don't need your help. Get out of here. Yeah. And Zane goes, okay, well then I'm going to stop giving it to you. Like, I will stop giving you my charity. Mm-hmm. Which I think is a moment for Harvey where he's like, wait a second. What's he been doing that's charitable? I'm like, oh, shoot. I didn't realize that I was stopping him from doing something nice. I thought I was saying, don't do something nice in the future.
Yeah. Harvey asked Donna if she knew what was going on with Lewis, and she says that she did, and she says, you know what, you need to step up and take the reins.
Because you didn't know.
Didn't know?
You're not ready to be managing partner either, then.
Yeah. Dude. It's also, that's so quick to make that decision, in my opinion.
Who should be managing partner?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even have other partners.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's also like, okay, managing partner, but what are you managing? Like, it's not like you have
a
whole
we're fine right now. Like, let's deal with some other things. Like, we have some bigger fires to put out rather than who gets the title. And I understand that, like, maybe for the outside it looks good to show, like, things are in command. Jessica, Daddy's gone.
But there's 2 people there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And Rachel.
But Rachel's still a para, right? Until later.
I love that it was too hard for you to say paralegal, and that you just changed it to a para.
A para. That's what people like, a paraprofessional.
Oh.
But haven't you heard that before?
No. Today years old.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom was a paraprofessional in the school district I grew up in, and I'm a para.
I've never heard that.
Really? Oh. Maybe I made it up, or maybe she made it up, or maybe I don't know.
It's today years old. Figured it out.
But Rachel's not actually going to be just a paralegal for long, because Lewis then goes and offers her formally a 2nd-year associate position.
Yeah, and then as they're hugging, he's like, okay, 3rd year. And he like ups it again.
Yeah, and she's like,
and I'm like, hey, keep squeezing him. You might get junior partner.
You can squeeze a junior partner
out of Lewis. Yeah. So now we're at Mike's job search, right? And he is back on the bike, right? And he rides up to this legal aid office. It's closed. He talks to the custodian, Daryl, who likes him. He's going to let him in early so he can go apply for a job.
This is the same...
This is the same place.
The same place that he first lied about being an attorney to get on a date.
With his actual wife.
His actual wife.
Right? And he interviews for this job with Oliver. Interview's a loose term because he's like out in the lobby, right? He's like, hey, fill this out. Yeah, man, we need your help. Let's go, right? Mm-hmm. But then we zoom in. He has to check the box on whether or not he is a convicted felon.
And will he or won't he?
Right.
Will he be honest for the first time in his life?
Right.
Then we see Donna, and she asks Harvey if he wants to talk about seeing Mike in the morning. Even though Harvey has not said he saw Mike, Donna knows.
Right.
And Harvey is like, he turned down the offer. We need him.
Yeah, we need him.
I need him. And Donna says, actually, instead of trying to take Mike, why don't you try and help him accomplish his dream?
If you actually care about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which
let him go.
Let him go. If you love something, let it go.
Mike goes to see
Father Walker.
Father Walker, yes, about the job search. He's like, I had to check the box. And he's like, I hope you didn't lie. You know, Father Walker's like, please don't tell me you lied again, Michael.
Right. And he did. That's what he kind of is his first assumption.
But then he offers him a job.
Father Walker does.
Yes.
Yeah, at teaching.
Yes.
A convicted felon.
Yes.
Who does not have an undergraduate degree.
Yes.
Is now going to be teaching at a private school.
Yeah. Where people pay.
And as a parent, if I was paying a private school to educate my child, and then I found out that Father Walker hired a felon who does not have an undergraduate degree because he went to the school and is an orphan?
Yeah.
Is not how I would like my children's education to be handled.
That's fair. They did say if we can't offer redemption to one of our own, then who can we even offer it to? Which is like, okay, that's how they're going to spin it.
Yeah, okay, but
looks like Father Walker needs to be an attorney, little spin doctor.
Yeah, also that's not it.
Yeah,
that's not it. When you're dealing with kids, like no.
No.
So Rachel goes to see the dean of her school, and she wants to know what her chances are of passing the bar, knowing the character and fitness part is very crucial because her dad's kind of gotten in her head a little bit.
Yes.
And she goes, do you think it would be better for me to work for my daddy or to stay at Pearson Specter Lit because I'm loyal to them even though they have this history with my fiance?
Okay.
And the dean basically says, you better prepare your points really solid because it's going to be an uphill battle for you. It's hard to imagine that you did not know he was committing a felony.
Right.
It would be better if you were working for your daddy.
Depo for you. You go before the character and fitness committee. Okay. What is the one thing they can catch you on for character and for fitness? Where they're like, oh, we got her on this one.
All right. Well, for fitness, it would be if they listened to this podcast and heard me trying to recite a beefy briefy. And they would say, we are not sure about your fitness level because you are out of breath. Yes. Out of breath, which is, I think, honestly, that's on them, though. They wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
For character, also, if they were listening to this podcast or any number of things that I have put out on the internet in my pursuit of being funny and a comedian, it would be a challenge. They could, you know what? Anyone could edit a 15-second video that makes you look like a monster.
Absolutely.
And mine could be maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'd have at least 30 seconds of being a real comedy monster out there.
Real comedy monster.
Yeah. And I think for fitness, it would be that I think you might know this about me. I'm a really good swimmer, but I can't dive.
I did not know that about you.
Like I stand at the edge of the pool or like on a diving board, but really never on a diving board because I just say, oh, I'm going to do a toe touch. I stand at the edge of a pool with my hands up like in the diving position. And then right before, like as I'm bending down to do the thing where I know you would shoot forward into the water, I actually just jump in with my feet. Like I just go feet first in. So it's like a whoop, feet.
But that's so awkward, Amanda.
It's incredibly awkward.
That's really embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing.
Because you are a very good swimmer.
I'm surprised that you don't know this about me because I use it as like a fun fact in a thing. Like, fun fact about me. Like,
no.
I love all dogs, but I'm terrified of standard poodles.
No,
like,
right.
like, or two truths and a lie.
Right.
Really great swimmer, but I don't know how to dive. Like, I literally cannot dive. Like,
this is a bad image in my head because it's just like a first impression.
It's pretty incredible.
And it's like, I can just imagine you looking like, and people like, oh, I've heard Amanda's a great swimmer. She can float like as if she's a buoy on the ocean.
I do have the buoy. I have the buoy ability.
A buoy ability.
A buoy ability.
Okay, great. Amanda loves the water. And then watching you flounder right off the bat would make people question.
Yeah, it's
question
credibility.
Your fitness or your character.
Yeah.
Or
it's like this is like your opening paragraph of a short story or your like opening line. It's like the first scene in a movie, right? Like
it's important.
It's like real important, and I can't do it.
That would be hard to. You'd have to get your talking points ready to talk to the bar about that.
Could not be an aquatic lawyer.
No. Nope. You would have to practice law on land.
Law on land only.
Mike is then trying on ties for teaching. He has not told Rachel that he got this job. And she goes, "Oh yeah, you got a job," and assumes that it's going to be at a law clinic, of course. And he's like, "Actually, I'm going to be teaching."
And she's like, oh.
Okay. All right. Okay. Are you sure? She's like, okay. But she gets on board and she's very supportive. She is one of the most supportive characters ever.
Mike is teaching. He's at St. Andrews. And these students are not impressed with him. No. And
they're high schoolers.
Yeah. And he's trying to do the whole thing of like, hey, I've seen how movies go. I'm going to write my name on the board. Y'all going to play a funny prank. Instead, they have his mugshot printed out.
It's not a fun prank.
Yeah. And it's also like right then and there, like he wasn't walking in saying, hi, I'm Mike Ross. Like they knew who he was, which is interesting that they had that intel.
High schoolers know everything.
That's true. They do.
Anything they want to know, they know.
Yeah.
And they are monsters.
Yeah.
So this was accurate. Then we see Harvey. And he goes to see lurker Anita Gibbs.
Dude.
Because when he was talking to Gerard and he said, you need to talk, you know who you need to talk to, he was talking about Anita Gibbs.
Yeah.
And he asks her to stand with Mike on the character and fitness portion of the bar. So the same problem Rachel's having, Harvey is trying to get solved for Mike.
Character and fitness are really a struggle for both of these.
For everyone at PSL. So Anita Gibbs is like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, you have got to be joking. Because not only do I know that he was not a lawyer and that this was a real shit thing, I also know that to get him out after serving basically no time for this crime that he's committed, you colluded with Sean Cahill. And Harvey's like, what? No, that's not true. And she goes, okay, well, then why don't you call Sean Cahill and make sure you have your story straight? Because it's very clear to everyone that you are still crooked. And so, no, I will not be doing you a favor, Harvey Specter, you crooked piece of shit.
And you could see it on Harvey's face.
Yeah.
He's got she got good me.
She gibbed me.
She gibbed me for sure.
Got you by the giblets.
Got you by the little bitty giblets. Ooh, what are we having for Thanksgiving? A little turkey dressing and some gravy with Anita giblets.
Anita giblets. Then.
Yes.
We see Mike Ross coming out of school. And he goes, now I see why school ends at 3 o'clock. Because no one would stay till 5. Yeah. These kids are monsters.
Yeah.
Father Walker's like, they actually need your help. They just don't know it. And then it comes out that Father Conway, who Mike is subbing for and who has a beloved relationship with, is not coming back. He has cancer. And so he will not be coming back to school.
Yeah.
So it's like Father Walker literally had to hire for a teaching position. Mike Ross came in, confessed he can't get a job because he's a felon.
Right.
And Father Walker was like, oh, well, maybe I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
Maybe I can solve this problem by hiring a convicted felon with no undergraduate degree. It's not divine intervention, Father Walker. This was a bad hiring decision.
This is a bad hiring decision. He should not be part of the talent acquisition team anymore at this St. Andrews.
No.
So then we see Mike in his classroom again. Okay, this is the second day. He's back, right? And guess who's back? Back again. Mike is back. But he's not your friend.
He's not your friend.
He slams this book down to try and get their attention. And they're all like, da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, dang, now we should listen to the teacher
what up,
he's yelling at us.
And then he decides to go ahead and drop that bomb on him and says, you know what? Father Conway isn't coming back. He has cancer and he's dying. He probably won't make it. It's also like, he's not a doctor. I mean, don't try to be a doctor and a lawyer.
He hasn't talked to Father Conway. It's not like he went to go visit him. He's taking.
And he's also not talking to his oncologist. Like, you don't know that.
It might not be that he's dying. It might be that he's retiring. Like, he does not want to come back to teach.
Right. So, anyways, he's like, let's share these memories of a man that has helped all of us. He's been there for like 40 years. So they do. Tries to bring them together, show them that even though they all hate each other, they have something in common. Yeah.
Gretchen sees Rachel in the copy room. Rachel has left her offer letter from Daddy Zane in a file. Big mistake. Like, we should not be mixing up file paperwork.
No.
But Rachel confesses to Gretchen everything that's going on. And she's like, I get it. That's a lot that you're carrying, Rachel.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And then Mike and Father Walker talk about how Mike was in prison and he can't work there because one of the kids has told their parents, their mother named Maggie Schmoston, and has said, you know what? Or Margie Boston, if you will, has said, you know what? I don't think he should work there. And so now he can't work there.
Just Of course this was going to happen. Yeah. You can't be around kids and be a felon.
Happened quickly
because kids talk. They already had a smoke shot.
Yeah.
Then we see Mike, and he's going back to his apartment. He's just been fired for being a felon. He can't get a job at a law clinic. Yeah. Who does he see waiting for him at his front steps? Anita Gibbs, lurking again. She says, don't ever send Harvey to talk to me again about you, because I am not going to stand for your character and fitness, and don't think I don't know that you're a part of that. Also, I keep getting all these calls from these law clinics, and I got to tell you, I'm going to stop every single one of them from hiring you, little sneaky jerk.
And then we see Harvey, okay? Back at the office, he is nervously walking to Lewis to go talk to him about being managing partner. And then Mike confronts him. He's like, not now, Mike. He's like, hey, you went to Gibbs. When I wasn't on her radar, I'm on her radar now because of you,
Harvey.
And he's trying to blame... but then you noted, wait a minute, the clinics are calling.
So he's on her radar.
Yeah.
This is not Harvey's fault. He just does not want Harvey's help in this.
Yeah. He's misplacing the blame.
And Harvey gets mad.
Oh, yeah.
And he does not process his feelings or put them in a little box like Jessica Pearson can compartmentalize. Yeah. He goes immediately and yells at Lewis, screams at him.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So Donna stops him.
And Louis is upset, and Gretchen's there, and she's got all these paperworks of the associates that he's wanted to hire.
Yeah.
And he's like, I really shit the bed. Like, I'm a horrible managing partner. I don't know why I thought I could do this. And she's like, actually, look at these 10 people that are starting here. Because in your brief time as managing partner, you did something very bold, and people followed you. Yeah. You were a great leader.
It's just good.
That was really what he needed to hear.
Yeah. Harvey is staring out Jessica's window. It's empty, right? Because she has gone to be with Jeff.
The whole office is empty.
The whole office is empty, really. For rent, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He tells Donna, look, they're all leaving. Jessica's leaving, Mike's leaving, and they're, my family. And she's like, hey, you actually have a real family. That's not just your work family. So don't be so obsessed with your work.
That you left.
Yeah. And you need to go and talk to them. So she's like, you need to go make up with your mom.
Yep. And that's how we roll right into episode 12, The Painting.
Which is our Hallmark movie and or not Oscar nominated.
Oscar nominated. Mm-hmm. We start before the credits. Rachel and Mike are having a conversation. He tells her that he got fired from teaching.
Right.
She's like, what are you going to do? And he goes, I'm going to take the day. I'm alive. I'm out of prison. I'm going to enjoy myself.
Yeah. Then we see a flashback where Donna is calling Ray, which is Harvey's driver. We don't see enough of Ray. To take him to his dad's funeral. We know it's a flashback because of Donna's banks and Granny Green.
It's green. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Granny Green Town. And he doesn't want to go to the funeral. And I think he wants to go. He just doesn't want to go.
He doesn't want to see his mom.
He wants to see his mom.
Which is so sad.
Yeah.
And Donna's like, you got to go. It's not about your mom.
This is about your dad.
It's about your dad.
Yeah.
So, present day Donna is now wondering why Harvey has missed his flight. He's got all his bags packed and he's supposed to be going to see his mom, but he's missed his flight. And she goes, well, you know what? The only other time you've lied to me, or the only other time you've missed your flight and lied to me about why you've missed your flight was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
When you were also going to see your mom. Yeah. So, get on that plane, buck up, make things right.
Yeah. Then we hear our favorite song, A Greenback Boogie. And we are after the credits, but we were in a flashback, right? Granny Greentown, we're at Harvey's dad's funeral. He is pissed that his mom is going to be saying some words here at the funeral. He doesn't even call her mom, he calls her Lily.
Yeah, and Marcus is like, you gotta put it aside. Don't make a scene here.
Don't make a scene, dude.
Like, the kids are here. Just be cool, okay? Yeah. We all love you. Whatever.
Yeah.
Lily is giving her eulogy, which is a little odd because it is her ex-husband who she divorced, who they had an affair. But in her eulogy, she's really giving a testament to Gordon and what a great man he was. And she talks about how, I tried to apologize because I was wrong and we got this divorce. But Gordon told me that we achieved something incredible together. We have Harvey, we have Marcus. Yeah. And so out of this, no matter how it ended, we made something really beautiful.
Two great dudes.
Very touching tribute. Also shows that Gordon had moved on and forgiven her.
Yes.
Unlike her oldest son, who is sitting in the front row.
Crying.
And he's crying.
Yeah, he's having a hard time. Marcus and Harvey reflect on Lily's eulogy. And Harvey says he has things to take care of at work. And Marcus is like, hey, you need to let some stuff go. And you need to, chill out.
Yeah.
Here. Stay here with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then Harvey's in the car calling Donna, and he's decided he is going to let things go. He is going to stay. He's going to try and make up with his mom. He misses his flight. He lies about it. So this is that moment that she's talking about where he lies about his flight. Mm-hmm. And we see him going up. His mom is putting out this strawberry pie.
Right.
And he is like, oh, Dad's favorite. And she goes, and your favorite. Mm-hmm. So it's this sweet moment. It seems like they're really going to have...
They're going to connect.
They're going to have this touching apology.
Right. And then Bobby comes up.
Oh my God, Bobby.
Dude.
Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby, who's not the uncle. It's who she was.
He's the fuck buddy.
Yeah, he's the fuckle.
The fuckle.
Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby needs to RTR. He needs to read the room.
He does.
This is not the time or the place.
No.
Horrible timing. Horrible timing.
They are mending a relationship that has been so fractured, and then Fuckle comes up, and he's like, hey... what about me? Oh, your dad liked me too. And it's like, Fuckle, go away. Get Fuckle out of here. Fuckle off.
Fuckle. Bobby. All right. So then we go to present day. And Nathan goes to see Mike at his apartment. Nathan is the guy that's running the legal aid clinic, right?
And who Mike lied to
many years ago, right? And he offers Mike a job for his work that he had suggested they do with Hector Suarez, right? Remember he gave him that idea, and then Nathan chunked it in the trash, but then he's like, actually, I pulled it out of the trash when you left, because I was like, ooh, yikes, this guy might know what he's talking about. Turns out it was actually really good work, and they were able to help Hector Suarez. And he's like, I'm going to hire you because of one thing. You checked yes on the felony box. And the fact that you're honest with me means a lot. And I'm not going to pay you anything, but I'm going to get your real good brain. And now you're honest.
He's going to pay him. It's just going to be like
pennies on the dollar.
It's going to be like what he made in a week
at PSL.
Right.
Just want to know, Nathan, tall ass dude.
So tall.
Because Mike Ross is a tall ass dude.
But Nathan is like
even taller.
Very tall.
He is a giant in Hollywood.
Not like casting wise, but physically. He is a giant. He's not like, look at this. He's a giant. Like, look at this breadth of work.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Nathan from Suits is.
No.
More like he is physically
very tall.
Very tall.
Yeah.
Harvey, present day, is visiting his mom at her art studio. He's just randomly showed up. He's like, we should go get dinner. And she goes, oh my gosh, of all the days, I cannot go tonight. It is my student's art show. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going back. And she goes, no, I will cancel the art show. He goes, no, we can do tomorrow night. So they're both making concessions. They're both healing. It feels like this is good. This is a good place to start. And then we come back to Mike.
Mike has already made friends with Oliver, which was pretty easy because Oliver kind of helped him get this, foot in the door.
They both love movies.
Yeah, and they both love movies. He gets his own office. He's the supervisor, which I'm going to note, a little weird. He has never supervised anybody. And that doesn't mean he can't take on a whole bunch of direct reports.
Right.
But there was no training for him. You don't just
how
all
to be
of a
a
sudden,
manager.
right? And some people are better managers than others, and it doesn't mean they're better people than others. Like some people love to be like a people manager and help coach people, and some people don't, and that's totally fine. Mike has never done this. And then he gives him Nathan's like, all of these people will now report to you.
But he can't give him another job.
That's fair.
Right? So Mike cannot be a lawyer working on any of these cases. So he has to just kind of be the person who's like, hey, is everything getting done?
Yeah.
Did you think about this?
Yeah.
What about this? Here's a question. I've scheduled this person to come in. He cannot be the person who is actually defending clients or actually meeting with them to provide legal guidance. So really the only position he can get is either an executive assistant or
the boss.
And
could have been a consultant.
Could have been. He kind of is.
Yeah.
Harvey is then visiting his brother at his restaurant, Marcus's restaurant, still in business. We weren't sure about that, but it is still in business.
Yeah.
And his brother's like, don't worry, I'll get you a table tomorrow. It's going to be crazy, but I'll get you a table. Also, cancel that fancy hotel you're staying at.
You're staying at our house.
You'll stay at our Triscuit and cheese house.
Which sounds like a delicious nacho. It's not how I would make a nacho, though. If I was doing like a house nacho, and they weren't just chips.
Like at your home?
Yeah.
Not like the restaurant house.
Sure, but if I had a restaurant, I might call these the house nachos. Wheat thins and cheddar.
Wheat thins and cheddar?
Melted cheddar on there.
Like in the oven?
No. That would take a lot more work. I would stick these in the microwave. I understand, Maggie, what you're thinking. I bet those wheat thins are wheat sogs.
Little sogs.
They're little sogs. They're a lot sogs. But
soggy thins.
It's soggy thins. But here's the thing. I have posted a picture of myself eating these before and said, do not be sad for me. I have chosen this meal.
Right.
It's just good.
I didn't feel sad. I felt curious.
I love melted cheese. Anything that's crunchy on the bottom has melted cheese on top.
Even if it's a little soggy crunch.
That is a nacho to me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean, it could be anything. I would call those like melty cheese and crackers, but it's interesting that it would be a nacho because you could really make nachos out of anything.
Anything that's got crunch on the bottom,
crunch and
melted cheese is a nacho in my book. And sometimes my book is wrong, but that's my food book.
Rarely.
Well, my house food book.
Mike is then back at the law clinic, and he is totally trying to throw his weight around with his associate, Marissa. He's like, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Well, you got to think about this. And she goes, listen, I've won all of my cases. Take a step back.
Yeah.
I know your type, basically, and I don't need your help.
Yeah.
She's pretty know-it-all. He's pretty know-it-all.
Yeah.
They're not clicking.
Yeah.
They're not vibing.
They're not. Then Teddy Doyle calls.
Of course Teddy Doyle calls.
Of course Teddy Doyle. They do act like Teddy Doyle has the same, like
I've ever heard of Teddy Doyle in my entire life.
No, you haven't. Because he's new. Carl threw him in there, but wrote him with such, like, reverence that he's just this person of, like, it's Teddy Doyle.
Very important client of Harvey.
Teddy Doyle's on the phone. Oh, my God. We got to help Teddy Doyle.
Someone's got to help Teddy Doyle. Harvey's out of town, but Lewis, you got to help Teddy Doyle.
Teddy Doyle?
Teddy Doyle.
What?
And Lewis is like, I'm not going to help Teddy Doyle.
Right? But who is Teddy Doyle? He's just Harvey's client, right? So Donna's like, hey, actually, you need to help Harvey because Harvey has gone home to make up with his mom because he felt so bad about the way y'all talked. She really laid it on thick because Donna knows what to do.
She knows how to lay it on thick. And
she
Lewis
can. She's a thick layer. She's a thick layer on her if I've ever seen one. Mm-hmm.
Then Mike is losing track of time. He's in his apartment. He's got all these case files all over the table. He's pacing. He's so excited. And Rachel comes in and he goes, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you. I got a job at a law clinic.
Depot. What job would you
So
get
stupid.
in the morning? Okay, let's assume you get this job in the morning. It is so great. You're going to throw yourself into it so much. Like you're this excited. It's now your life's work. This is the thing you've said you wanted to do. It is your purpose and your calling. That you do not pick up the phone and call or text Kyle and say, I got this job. It's my dream job.
Right. Literally cannot think of one thing. And also, just to be clear, when Nathan comes, is it that same day? Like, did Nathan come in the morning and then Mike immediately went to work?
He's like, hang on real quick. If you'll wait for me, I'll go change clothes and ride down there with you.
On my
bike.
Or then I go in and I get in office and then I'm already having a conversation managing Marissa. I thought that this happened over the course of multiple days or over the course of like at least 24 hours.
Yeah. So there's not even a job that you would get that you were so excited about and passionate about that you wouldn't tell Kyle and you'd just be like, oh, I forgot.
Like, I forgot that, by the way, I forgot that tomorrow morning I'm waking, we go to sleep and I don't say anything, and then I wake up in the morning and we eat breakfast, and then I go, and I'm like, I'm not telling you, I'm not going to get dressed, but I'm going to get dressed. Like, it does not make any sense that Rachel did not know he got a job at a law clinic until he has already spent an entire day at a law clinic working, brought the work home, laid it out on the coffee table, and is pacing around. Makes no sense, Carl, the writer.
Carl, we're going to have to revisit this at the end of the season.
Put a pin in it. We're going to talk about it.
Probably ease it into the series. I have to be like, there's a couple of big fat holes in here.
This is one of the biggest holes. Outside of Mike Ross just not being hired as a consultant to begin with.
Is this one of them?
This is top hole in the plot.
Doesn't make sense. If Mike and Rachel are truly that close. Like, this is not like some arranged marriage where they didn't know each other. Like, they're going to tell each other things.
Exactly.
Come on, Carl.
Also, he tells her that he's making $35,000 a year.
She loves that.
And she's like, okay, that's fine.
Good thing my daddy's rich.
I'd live in a shoebox with you, she says.
She does. So then Harvey and his brother are talking on the couch after bedtime. And he was like, whew, I need a beer after that. And he was like, why? Because bedtime's so hard? And he's like, actually, no, my wife usually puts the kids down.
Right, yeah.
And he says, maybe after tomorrow when you visit with mom and y'all make up, then you can come visit more.
Right, wouldn't that be so nice?
Wouldn't that be so nice if Harvey can actually come visit? He could be a fun uncle.
Not a fuckle.
Yeah.
Mike tries to work with Marissa again, so he's trying to give her some feedback. It's the next day, and he's given her all the tricks that this attorney is going to throw her way because he says, this attorney that you're going up against has evicted a lot of people, like 200 people in the last month, which she's a big deal. This is very Vivian Tanaka.
And she's a baddie, and you don't know. You got to listen to me. And Marissa's like, nah, I'm good. Like,
yeah, I'm fine. I'm confident.
Yeah. She's like, I actually know your type. He's like, oh, have you read up on me? She's like, I don't have to read up on you. I know that you couldn't cut it at PSL, so now you're here, but I'm actually here to help the people. So she has made an assumption.
And she is going to be the ass in this.
She is going to be the ass.
Because her assumption
She's
is
going to be
wrong.
Marissa the donkey.
It's way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. Yeah, because then Mike and Marissa are meeting with the client to talk about the living conditions, and turns out the client has not paid rent because that's the only way she thought the landlord would listen. Yeah. But instead, she was spending her rent money on things like staying in a motel, getting a space heater, because her son has asthma. He can't live there. Yeah. And Marissa promises not only will they get the window fixed, but they will also keep her in the apartment. And this is like, Mike's like, you cannot promise that.
We don't know if we can do that.
And that's when she's like, okay. Yeah. They're not clicking.
Yeah. Oliver tells Mike that Nathan told him not to tell anyone about Mike's felony and that he was, protecting him, and also nobody reads the journal.
Yeah, so Marissa genuinely does not know that Mike is not someone who couldn't hack it in corporate law, but he's actually a felon.
Yeah.
We cut to Harvey, and he's meeting with his mom at Marcus's restaurant, and Marcus has been so nice to get him a table. Yes. The restaurant looks pretty empty, so it does not seem like it was hard to get him a table.
Alternatively, Maggie, he could have cleared it out and said, give them their space.
I want 7 tables in this area to be empty so that
they can, Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Harvey tells his mom that he's ready to forgive her.
Okay.
And she goes, great. And then she goes, and I'm ready to forgive you.
Yeah.
Which to him, he's like, hold on. I did nothing wrong.
Right.
And then they get into it.
Okay.
And she's mad at him for leaving and for how he acted. And he's mad at her for the same thing that he's been mad at her for 7 years plus about. And he gets up and he's storming out. She goes, go ahead and leave. It's what you do best.
Dude.
Very messy.
Very messy.
So then Harvey's back at the house and he's trying to leave.
Yeah. He's
trying to pack up to go. And Marcus is like, oh, well, what do you want to tell me to tell the kids?
You want me to lie for him?
Because he's like, just tell him I had to go back for work. And he goes, so you want me to lie? I'm not going to lie for you.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing Harvey was mad at his mom about, was her making him lie.
Yep. Bobby, the Fuckle.
Fuckle Bobby.
Fuckle Bobby shows up, and he was like, hey, you know what? Your mother was more excited getting ready to go to dinner with you than she has ever been, because she thought y'all were going to be able to make up, and she was ecstatic. And this family actually works better without you. You've really fucked some stuff up, so you need to leave and stay gone.
Stay gone.
Stay gone.
Woo! Stay gone,
from
Fuckle.
The Fuckle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Again, the Fuckle needs to read the room.
He does.
He just, like, this is not the time. Like, come on, Fuckle.
But he's pissed. He's sticking up for his wife, too.
That's fine. He can stick up for his wife. He can, both of those things can be true. He can read the room and stick up for his wife. He could have done it in a different way.
Yeah. Lewis, meanwhile, is trying to help Teddy Doyle hide some tax money. He goes and he tells Rachel, like, hey, I need your help. So this just shows us that Lewis is trying to help Harvey because he's not being petty.
Right.
He's going to help hide tax money.
Yeah.
Really above board kind of stuff.
Yes.
For Teddy Doyle. Anything for Teddy Doyle.
Yeah. Mike announces to the office that he is not a lawyer. He comes in and he has a one-pager. He has turned in his story, his rap sheet is now a PDF and is being passed around as literally as a one-sheeter of like, here's what I actually really did. And I need you to respect me now because of this.
I want you all to read this article. Everything in this is true.
Yes, it's all true. Please respect me.
I am a felon.
I am a felon. This is a horrible, like, stump speech or, like, elevator pitch of anything. Also, you don't ask people, hey, respect me. Like,
now look, I'm telling you all the truth. I'm giving you all the dirt.
So now you will respect me. I want you to respect me. Of course. Does everybody want to be respected?
Of
course. That'd be great. Yeah. You have to earn that. You don't just tell somebody, respect me. I mean, Aretha Franklin did it.
And that's the only one.
She's the only one who can say
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Find out what it means to me.
Then,
this was crazy. This thing was so silly.
And people reserve the right to not respect him. Reserve the right to read that and be like, hi, Nathan. I actually have some concerns about our new supervisor.
Yeah, can we have
Let's have a conversation.
PDF? Yes.
Harvey did not leave after Fuckle talked to him. He is at Marcus's house still. Yeah. It's the morning. His flight doesn't leave for another 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So it kind of worked. He decided to chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
Marcus goes into this whole thing like, actually, Harvey, you are the problem. Yeah. You're messing things up.
Yeah.
For one, I'm sick again. Yeah. And you don't even know that.
Yeah.
The last time I was sick, Mom and Fuckle Bobby were the ones who helped.
Yeah.
So to you, it's this cheating whore and the man that she slept with.
Yeah.
But to my kids, it's Grandma and Grandpa. And you might not like that, but like,
they love him.
We're a family.
And they don't know.
And we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. And he's like, so maybe you need to chill out.
Yeah.
Marissa apologizes for misjudging Mike. She also got away to win the case. So they're going to need a lawyer, right?
Yeah,
so,
she thought that he could help her.
Yeah, and he can't because he's not a lawyer. Mm-hmm. So they have to
She really misjudged him.
Yeah.
She really misjudged him.
She really did. Yeah.
Thank God he's not someone who couldn't hack it in the corporate world and is now taking a lower paying law job.
Instead, he's a felon who lied and can't help her.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But also her supervisor.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay, Marissa.
Yeah.
Harvey then goes to apologize to his mom for being so angry.
Yeah.
And she also says she's sorry. And he goes, listen, I don't hate you. I just hate what you did.
Yeah.
And then he sees the picture of her painting the painting and him watching her paint the painting. And it's a picture of what makes that painting so special.
Right.
And he sees it on her studio wall. And he goes, I really miss that painting. Mm-hmm. And they tell each other that they love each other.
Yeah. And then we see Oliver the lawyer. What a fun little ring that has.
Oliver the lawyer.
The lawyer. Oliver the lawyer. Oliver the lawyer.
Would you say that rhymes?
It does. Oliver the lawyer? That doesn't rhyme.
Oliver the lawyer doesn't rhyme.
No, but Oliver the lawyer, here you come. Oliver the lawyer, you're number one. Oliver the lawyer, you went to school.
Wait,
Oliver the lawyer, you're so cool. Oliver the lawyer. See, go up to another octave.
Oliver the lawyer. All those words that you said after Oliver the lawyer, rhymed.
Maggie,
those did, but Oliver the lawyer
you are acting like you don't know how to say lawyer. Like it's so hard for you to say it that it gets stuck in your mouth.
Oliver
like you're choking on a piece of bread. You're acting like you're having a breadache in your mouth.
But it doesn't rhyme. It does not. Oliver the lawyer.
Maggie, if I was to skip down the street with Whiskey the dog right now and sing the song, Oliver the lawyer, here we come, Oliver the lawyer, you're number one. You know what would happen? In like a movie, like in West Side Story, they would all, like Sharks and Jets, they would all start snapping
Oliver the lawyer. Oliver the lawyer.
Lawyer.
You
are perfect. If you guys could see, you can't even see. She is purposefully making her tongue act like it's stuck in her mouth.
If the tongue can't say it, you must acquit it. I'll give it to you. You are very passionate about this. I will let you continue to think that Oliver and lawyer rhyme. I'll let you. I think
sometimes rhymes aren't perfect, but they're close. They're fraternal.
Yeah,
it's a fraternal
I can't wait for you
rhyme.
to hear this and be like, I really
you don't know what to do.
This rhyming.
You know what's going to happen is when I send you to proof it, you're going to be like, hey, you put that part in there about Oliver the lawyer twice. I'll be like, yeah, intentionally. Because it was just the way it was rolling off my tongue. I think they needed to hear it.
It was rolling so well.
Yeah.
It rolls. Honestly, it's just incredible how that rolls.
Oliver the lawyer.
It's really fascinating how that rolls off the tongue.
Okay.
So Oliver is the lawyer presenting in court. He's the only lawyer that it's not Mike, it's not Marissa. And the opposing counsel rips him to shreds. And Oliver's like, wait, you can't say that. What? Oh gosh. Oh wait, no, the phone records, but you can't say this. And he just like proves this prosecutor's case. And he's like, I gotta talk to my supervisor. And the judge is like, your supervisor? What the fuck? You're an attorney. Like, no.
Yeah.
She's getting evicted. She's getting evicted in the morning, in fact. And so you've lost this case.
Yeah, pause. Should we just keep going with this story really quick and then come back to Harvey and finish out with Harvey?
Yeah, is there an eagle?
Wait, that's not an eagle, but there's a bird. Is there a bird in my house?
Right? Do you hear that?
Yeah. That's not an eagle. That's a little weak eagle.
Sorry.
Little sad sack eagle.
Okay. Yes, we should keep going.
Just listeners, we do recognize there's a bird somewhere maybe in this house or right outside of the window.
If you can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Then Mike goes to see this client.
Yes.
And she's just been told she's going to be evicted in the morning. And he goes, hey, actually, we have this little like fund at the clinic. And so here's your rent, the back pay, and you have a little breathing room. You're not going to get evicted. Stay put. In this apartment that is giving your son asthma that is not fit to live in. But now here.
Cozy up here for 3 more months.
You can stay here.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my gosh, but why is your name on the check? And she goes, no, it's just like a red tape. He just lies to her. He's lie like a rug.
Yep. And then Oliver and Marissa are still working on the case.
Because they think she's getting evicted.
Yeah, like, we got to figure this out by tomorrow. And Mike comes by. He's like, hey, we've got a little bit of a grace period. You guys are great. Let's take a knee. Let's take the night. And then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll get to it.
And they all kind of look like, we're a good team.
But also, he could have just told them, hey, this is what I did. Like, I understand if he maybe doesn't want them to know. Because then it could create, like, a pattern of him always, like...
But they do look very smug. Like, we're great. We're the A team.
Yeah.
This is Pierce Inspector Lit of the law clinic.
Us and our supervisor. Then we cut back. Harvey tells Donna that it went well back with his mom and he needs some help.
Yeah. And when he needs Donna's help, Donna's going to deliver.
Here. She's there. She's awesome. She's awesome.
She's awesome. I'm Donna. I'm awesome. That's her with braces. Harvey then goes to thank Lewis for taking care of Teddy Doyle.
Thank God.
Thank you. Thank God Teddy Doyle was taken care of. What an important person.
I will say, Carl, Teddy Doyle is a pretty cool name.
Great name.
For a person we never meet.
Yeah. And he apologizes. Yeah. And he says, listen, I think that we should actually be interim managing partners together because neither one of us is ready to do this on our own. And we just need to, like, chill, which I think is good, solid idea. And then they both decide, too, they're not going to change the name of the firm. It's going to continue to be Pearson, Spector, Lit. Even though Jessica Pearson is not there.
No. They know they need a little pee or a big pee.
However you get your pee.
However you get your pee, because everybody needs a little bit of pee.
Everyone needs a little pee.
Their version of a pee.
Mm-hmm. And then we see Harvey with what I believe Donna has helped him with, which is hanging the picture of his mom painting the painting where the painting used to be.
Yes.
The painting, the name of the episode.
The painting. Which, I said, I think it'd be really cool if we saw a picture of Harvey looking at a picture of the painting where his mom was painting the picture that he missed. And then we saw Donna looking at Harvey, looking at that painting. Like, let's see this end. Let's really.
And keep replacing it. Every year we keep replacing the photo.
Why not? You have to refresh your house and your office sometimes to keep things going,
Yeah.
Zhuzh it up.
Zhuzh it up. Speaking of refreshing.
Yes.
I have a refreshing trip that I would like to take you on.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
Right now.
Right now?
Yeah, I mean, I packed your bags and we're going.
Where are we going?
Right now. To Prediction Town. Choo-choo! Light rail choo-choo train to Prediction Town. Here we are. Okay. So, I'm going to try and process this out. I have some bullet points, but I think the seeds of doubt have been sowed for Rachel about her character and fitness. I think her dad said it. Her dean said it. It feels important and significant that character and fitness is coming up for her in a way that she's grappling with. She talked to Gretchen about it, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is going to be something bad in their relationship, but also now Mike is doing all this like quote unquote good ethical work.
Right.
So maybe it won't matter because now look, he's being a good guy, which also made me think, I wonder if Mike, he doesn't want Harvey's help.
Okay.
But I wonder if now that he's back in this law arena and he's doing this work, he's going to want to work out his own deal with Anita Gibbs for this character and fitness.
Okay.
I am wondering if we're going to have an episode called Character and Fitness.
Interesting.
Because it keeps coming up. And
I can't wait to dive into that one.
If only you could dive. And the reason I'm thinking this is because when Mike was in prison, Harvey came with a pretty simple solution to get him out of prison, right? He was like, hey, just be an informant. And Mike could not simply be an informant. He had to do something his own way.
Yeah.
So here Harvey has gone with, simple no, but a straightforward solution of Anita Gibbs testifies on the character and fitness. Mike, I feel like, is going to be like, okay, good idea. Yes, and I'm going to do it this other way that does not involve Harvey, but somehow works out better for him and Rachel and all of this.
Right.
And then maybe Mike and Rachel go and work for Daddy Zane because she'll pass the character and fitness, and then maybe Mike will also pass character and fitness and get a sponsor. Like maybe Zane will be the sponsor. I have to just, though, be honest. Like all of this, I know that Meghan Markle marries Prince Harry. Meghan Markle marries Prince Harry.
Yes.
And because I know that, and I know it happens before Suits ends.
You did know that?
I did know that.
Okay.
Just because Suits was going, it was like in the cultural zeitgeist. I never watched it, but like I knew that she was married and that they came to her wedding and like all of this.
Okay.
I don't understand the timeline of that and when Rachel gets written off the show.
Okay.
Like I really don't, since the beginning, I'm like, and then she's gone. And then she leaves Mike, and Mike stays. But now I'm like, when does this happen? And does it happen where it's like, okay, Mike and Rachel go to work for Daddy Zane, and then we just don't see them anymore? Or is it like Rachel moves across the country, or like they both go to Indiana to be big fish in small ponds? Like what happens to actually write her off, and when does that happen? And it's influencing my predictions.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry because I feel like you've done a good job of like not trying to find spoilers,
No, but I just like I feel like we're getting to the end of the show. So I'm like,
we're almost at the end of season. I mean, there's only 3 more seasons.
I know,
left.
and so in my head, I'm like, when is she leaving? Is she already dating Harry now?
Yeah.
Like, so is she already dating him? So like they're getting closer to a wedding date, and so like, are the writers aware of this?
Yeah.
Like I'm just kind of. Did she even get written off before they got married, or did she get written off just when they were dating? Because it was like, you can't be on a TV show if you're dating or what. Like I'm just confused about the real timeline of it, and I haven't looked up dates of anything.
No,
I'm
genuinely, don't do it.
Genuinely confused. But it is. I'm like, okay, something has to happen that makes Rachel leave Harvey and Lewis and Donna, and when that happens, is she also leaving Mike? Like, anyways, it's just a lot that I'm grappling with.
Okay.
I do think Harvey and Lewis will actually do pretty well together in this interim managing partner situation. And I'm excited for Katrina Bonnet or Katrina Bennett to maybe come back at the firm.
Okay.
My only thing is here Gretchen's been like, here's the 10 people that are starting. But now Zane has also said, I'm not going to be giving you my charity. And if that's the case, has he taken away his non-competes? And now it is a non-compete. And then, but Katrina has been very disloyal. And if that's the case, is she going to have to go to Pearson Spector Lit, but not be able to take on any clients? Like, what's going? They need help.
Yeah.
And I feel like Katrina Bennett is perfect for that. I love her and Lewis. I think she's wonderful, but like, there's some drama, some other shoes got to drop with this, right? It can't just be like now 10 new people start and there was no problem after Daddy Zane said, I'm not going to be giving you charity. I'm not going to help you.
You're on your own. You're on your own, kid.
My last prediction is that Jessica's office will stay vacant as tribute to Pearson, Daddy Pearson, even though it is a very expensive piece of real estate.
They could put cubes in there and turn that in.
A new pit.
Yeah.
It's humongous.
It's so big.
And they're just going to leave it.
Yeah, I think I want to acknowledge that my stomach is growling so much right now that I know that y'all can hear. Like, I think listeners will be able to hear it. I don't know if I can edit it out.
I didn't hear it.
The whole time during your prediction, it's like they didn't feed us any food on this prediction train.
It was the bullet train. You know, it was like this. It was the light
so
rail.
Fast.
Yeah, so it's
a little bag of nuts in my mouth would have been nice.
We should have brought our own, frankly.
We probably.
I packed your bag and I packed no snacks.
No snacks. That's okay.
Really failure on my part.
No, it's fine. I appreciate you buying the ticket. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can find us at onlysuitsfans.com, where you can sign up for the Harvey Specter monthly newsletter that's going to drop on February 1st. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, still, we think, and YouTube. And you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you're looking for something to say in your review, you could simply say, 5 stars, I love this podcast.
5 stars.
5 stars. Well, you click the 5 stars and then you just say, I love this podcast.
In fact, that's it. That could be the review.
That's it.
Like, you don't even have to say anything else.
You could. But it really helps podcasts, like independent small podcasts like us, grow, find new audiences, especially if you listen to this episode and then like immediately write a review.
Oh my gosh. That's like, it is the algorithm's mind is blown when you do that.
It literally freaks
can't.
out. It's like, I've got to feed this podcast to so many more people.
And it will.
I think that's what happens.
Yeah. So,
feed me, algorithm.
Bye.